All right, guys, welcome to our special show today. We are gonna be talking about disruptive. Today is special show for disruptive. We have a whole bunch of disruptive group members on with different backgrounds and different roles. I don't know what's going on with my stream, but I am not getting names again. I think Restream messed up, and unfortunately, is telling me to tell you guys to allow Restream to show your names. And I'm doing that, but I'm not sure why it's not letting me do that. So, give me a second while we figure this out. Hopefully this gets fixed. All right, good evening, guys. Okay, so I got people from YouTube. Their names are coming in. Facebook, apparently I'm not getting it. I'm getting a message saying that you guys need to go to your Facebook and allow chat restream to come through. So give me a second here while I figure this out. 1 second, guys. Technical difficulties. Can't have a stream without technical difficulties. Isn't that the life? All right, we got Avery. What's up, Avery? Welcome to the show, sir. We got Rick Tallman. How you doing, Rick? All right, no audio. I hope everybody got audio. So, first and foremost, we're gonna start off with what the change is. So we're taking it from financial freedom with Cash Caduce to the new show, Incredible Cash. Why the name change? Because one, money looks better than just saying financial freedom. Two, it's unique. So we have a lot of people that have a hard time finding our channel. So now you can find my channel a lot easier. Incredible Cash has its own Facebook page now. It has its own YouTube channel. YouTube channel will be able to stream starting next week. I didn't realize YouTube has a restriction on streaming. You have to have permission beforehand. And same thing on Twitch. You can find Incredible Cash on Twitch. All right, guys. If you guys got any questions, please let me know. And as you guys come in, I will welcome you guys in. So some people I'm getting names, some people I'm not getting name. I got Sean G. Titman saying what's up. I got Fernan saying hey. Some people I'm just getting Facebook user, not getting your name. That might be on your end. You may need to allow. And then we got Tim C. Johnson. All right, guys, let's get it going. Let's introduce some of our team members that's on live today. First and foremost, we have Michael Brown. Please, Mike, introduce yourself.
Yeah, Mike with Disruptive, part of the Audubon Hyperoptic family, Edge family line. Been with this company for quite a few years now. And so we're launching this different division. We want to see what it can do in the marketplace. Already getting tons of positive feedback. So that's why I'm here today. Answer any questions you guys might have about what Disruptive is.
I appreciate that. Thank you, and welcome to the show. We're gonna
Thank
bring
you.
on our next guest. Everybody knows this person. Haas, welcome to the show, brother.
What is up?
We want to give Haas a minute for his unique pose. All right, there we go. We got Haas. Haas, please
What's up,
introduce
everybody?
yourself.
I'm Hoss Evans. Also, my government name is Brandon Evans. I own Extreme Shades in Smithfield, North Carolina. I've been in the industry for 18 years and have been asked to be a part of Disruptive.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Welcome. All right, guys, we got two more guests coming on, and I'm pretty sure you guys are waiting for this one, but give me 1 second. All right, we got Mike Powell and we got Kyle Whalen here, our champions from Tinter Battles 2023. Let me go off that screen. I'm sorry, I had to do that. I love that. So, Mike, you can go ahead first. Please introduce yourself.
All right, as everybody pretty much already knows, Mike Powell. I run a shop, day-to-day window tinting in Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina. Been tinting for about 10, 12 years now. Been in the industry really close-knit with everybody for probably a good 3, 4 years now. Just, man, a couple years ago when I joined Audubon, it's just been a great experience for me. So to grow with Disruptive, man, it was an honor when they asked me to be part of that team. So.
All right, then we got our other champion, Kyle. Please, Kyle, introduce yourself.
What's up,
and
guys?
Welcome.
Kyle Whalen. We got Pro Tent Apparel in Hartwell, Georgia. We've been in it 16 years now, and everybody knows we're with Audubon and got InCREDITable, and looking forward to that.
I just want to let you know, Hannah says dinner is ready. So
yeah. All right, guys. Well, it was good.
All right, guys. So if you guys got any questions for what Disruptive is, what they're trying to do, please post them up. I do have some of your questions that you guys either texted me or stated in one of the posts. So I'm gonna go with those in the meantime. If you guys come up with any questions, we will take those on as they come in. So let's get some of our comments in the chats first. We got Jeremy Davis. Where is that damn Disruptive hat I ran all over Amelia Island? So I don't know. You might want to. Who wants to take that question for Jeremy?
I couldn't tell you, man, where that thing is.
I don't know where
all I know is I came in with a few Disruptive hats and I left with nothing.
Where I'm hearing Jeremy is you snooze, you lose.
Yeah. I'm not going to tell anybody, but Haas actually ran off with one of my hats too. So
wasn't me.
All right, so we got Mike Watson. What's up, fam? What's going on? Mike, welcome to the show. Haas was also in the chat saying, let's go. We got Avery. Hey, guys, just letting you guys know that. We got Leah here also. Hello, guys. Chris Longshore, what's up, guys? Congratulations. So you got a lot of fan going on, guys. Just let you guys know. Jeremy, Chris said he might have your hat, so you might want to check with Chris. All right, Jeremy's still letting you know, Mike, that he ran all over it for you. And Chris wants an autograph hat. Jeremy Davis he wore it for the competition, but I ran out of the Jeep. Okay. All right.
Jeremy's not gonna let them live that down.
No.
Jeremy's gonna want that damn hat before he lets go of it, man. You better get the hat over to him.
Yeah, I know. We gotta work on that.
All right, we got Alex coming in. Welcome, Alex. All right, guys. So anybody got questions, please post them up. I'm gonna start with what is disruptive? And I think Mike is the person behind this to answer that question. So, Mike, you have the stage.
Yeah, so first of all, disruptive is not a program. I think that's been some of the misconceptions that we've heard is they think it's some kind of cutting software, but it's not. Disruptive is a marketplace. So what we do is we have creators, just like we have here tonight, and they use their experience to cut their patterns, and they take a picture of these patterns with an app that will send it to us, and then they will send those patterns, the actual hard copy of those patterns, for us to double check the work, make sure everything is accurate. And then we'll put it on the marketplace there at Disruptive on our website, disruptive.com. So that's really the gist of it. That's really what it's all about. We have real life experience, real life industry leaders who are basically putting their years of experience to work. The best part of it is that the creators do get a piece of the pie. So they will, whatever they sell under their name there, they will get a revenue from that. So that's what Disruptive is pretty much all about. It's about giving back to the industry and helping the creators to get a continuous revenue throughout the years. So it's a really cool thought to put into play. David Kratz, he's the mastermind behind it. He's just using me and others to try to execute this idea. So we're going to give credit. That's where it belongs.
All right. So what is your role with Disruptive?
So my role is kind of to work the back end right now. Just if anyone, of course, has questions, I'm here for that. But I work the back end of it where I'm double checking the work that's coming in. So that's really my role with it right now. Of course, as Disruptive grows, who knows what it'll turn into? It could be its own thing eventually, and I do think it will be. But being at the groundwork, we just got to put in the labor, and that's what I'm here doing.
Okay, so are you in charge of making sure everything flows the way it is? So is that what I'm trying to make it simple for everybody to kind of understand your role.
Yeah, so again, I just take in whatever copies that the creators are sending me right now, and I'm double checking the work. So basically, I'm doing quality control is what I'm doing right now.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a couple chats we want to catch up before we go to the next question. Jeremy's back. I don't want it. I want him to wear it for all the shit I went through to get it for Mike Powell. All right. So just let you know, Jeremy's back. David, what's up, bro? Welcome, David. Jeff says proud to be part of this. Lita says same thing. Honored to be cutting for Disruptive. Tim G. Johnson, what will protect the guys who's making the cuts? Is there something that will not allow people that buy the cuts from not sharing it? That is a very good question, Tim. Thank you. So who wants to take that?
Just on that part, the thing about Disruptive is that when you buy that cut, you own it, right? You can develop your own library of cuts of patterns that you have purchased over time. It's like anything else. Nothing's 100% proof. And as we develop this program, we'll try to button up those loose ends as we go. But at this point, right now, it's meant for the shops that purchase it. They can cut the pattern as many times as they want with no penalty, using whatever film they want as well. They bought it, they purchased it, they own it. So they don't have to worry about, being exclusive to a brand in order to cut the film.
Okay, so is there any special software they need to run the patterns or cut the patterns, or how is the software set up?
So basically, for those cutting softwares, there's a lot of free ones out there as well. For example, we're using ScanThing right now. It's a free, scanning app that takes the pictures of the patterns that sends it to us. So we're, at this time we're trying to make this as affordable to the dealers possible. And so they can use those free softwares to cut the patterns. We will probably have some recommendations of ones that we like better later on, more like an approved type list. But right now, that's just kind of where we are with it.
So have you guys, I know this is one of the questions, but I'm just gonna put it out here. When are you guys launching this, or have you officially launched it?
So we're trying to launch here at the end of January. I know we're already halfway through the month, but that's what we're shooting for.
Okay, so in 2 weeks, you're saying you're gonna have it officially launched.
Hopefully, yes.
Okay, all right. So let's go back to the chats because we got a whole bunch of chats that came in the meantime. Fernan, how we can be part of this? So Fernan, I'm not sure if you're trying to be the end user or if you're trying to be a designer. That's what you guys are calling Haas and Mike and Kyle is, right? They're designers, or what are you guys calling them?
Creators.
Creators.
Yeah.
Okay, I apologize.
Creators, yeah.
So how if you're asking how you can be a creator, let's answer that question because I think that is one of the other questions I had as well too that was preloaded.
Yeah, well, to become a creator, basically, you can submit your name and everything to us. We do have people that review it. So, not everyone can be a creator, but we really want those who are experienced in the industry. I mean, we got guys that have 20, 30 years of experience that are putting their patterns out there in the market. They're really putting themselves out there. And by the way, just to clear some things up, we're launching in beta, by the way, towards the end of the month. So it'd be like kind of beta testing towards the end of this month, not an official launch. So I just need to correct that real quick.
All right, not a problem. So Fernan said is a creator, so he did correct his question on it. Then we got a long one here. I want to offer promotion of your channel, viewers, followers, blah blah blah. That's a bot.
Spam.
That's a bot.
Spam.
Get 'em
God
out.
dang. God damn. All right. So honored to be part of it. We got Sean, honored to be in the number. All right. We got designer, creator, and then I'm gonna hold off on this, Avery. We'll come back to this question. I'm not gonna lose it, but we'll come back to this question. We need to get some of the basics done first. I call them disruptors. Okay. All right. And then we got the last one right now currently is right. Okay. All right. So you are looking at some suggestions for the software for everybody to use. You guys are taking in the patterns so far. You guys are putting those patterns in your database, and you're saying customers can then buy those patterns. Now, going back to some of the previous questions, like Fernan had, how do you pick your creators? Are you reaching out to the creators, or are the creators reaching out to you? And how do you guys determine who becomes one and who does not?
So it's kind of a bit of both. There's been creators that we have reached out to, and then there's those that have reached out to us. And really, we have there are those in our company with Audubon that they know a lot of these people that are asking, and they know their work, they know their reputation. So really, it becomes a discussion about, hey, yeah, this person would be a great creator. We need to bring them on. We could see a lot of success happening from this person. And so, because what we want is we want people to come on the marketplace and feel confident about what they're buying, knowing that, hey, this guy's been cutting patterns, film for 20 plus years. You can feel confident in what you're purchasing will work. So that's kind of what that's what we are looking for. Now, we know that there are those that are less experienced that are very good at their job, and that will be a discussion.
Okay, so let's take this to the creators. Haas, how did you become a creator? Was you approached, or did you approach them?
I was approached. I
Okay.
was asked by my rep if I would be interested in being a part of it, and it's something that I definitely couldn't turn down.
So how long now? DISRUPTIV is backed by Audubon, obviously by David Kraft. So that is Audubon family. Now, Audubon is not saying that you need to be Audubon dealer or
No.
customer to get this software or even to have this software. But you are Audubon dealer, right?
I am.
Okay,
I am.
cool. I appreciate that.
But
Same question.
as
Go ahead.
you've
Go ahead.
seen in some of the comments, Avery that I know of isn't Autobahn.
No.
Letha isn't Autobahn. So I mean, even some of the creators can be a part of Disruptive and not be a part of the Autobahn group.
That is great. Thank you. I appreciate that. I was gonna ask that because I did see some of that stuff because I believe some of them are with Solar FX and other brands. So same question goes to Kyle. Were you approached or did you approach them? And are you Audubon?
Yeah, so they approached me, and yeah, I'm with Audubon. As Haas said, I personally know people that are in Disruptive that are cutting for to use Audubon. This and like I said, it's not going to be a software you can download and put year, make, model, and cut what you want. I mean, you're going to be searching to find the pattern that you want. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I know people that's doing it that's not with Audubon. They're not going to be brand specific Audubon to use Disruptive or create for Disruptive or anything. It's not. I mean, I was approached by Audubon just because of my stuff like that, but I'm pretty sure I would have been approached even if I wasn't with Audubon.
Now, was that after you won the battles or was that before the battles?
No, it was close. Yeah, I had all my stuff before the battles.
I had to throw that question out there. I know the answer, but I had to throw that out there. Same goes to Mike. Your turn, sir. Are you with Audubon, first of all? We can't hear you, Mike. Your mic is gone. You may want to come back. Clock out, clock back in, man. Might be the easiest thing to do.
I bet he had to fart and he turned his mic off.
You didn't want to disrupt this conversation.
Disruptive. Being disruptive. All right, so we got Mike back. Mike, can you? No, we still don't have no mic from you, buddy. Haas says you had to fart. That's why you turned it off. So maybe you need to fart again one more time. Sometimes just turning it on and off, we all ran into that issue. Just turn it off and on. All right, you guys got somebody that's pretty well known in the tin industry says, I would be happy to submit patterns. Everybody knows Rodney. Welcome to the show, Rodney. Pleasure having you on here. I'm sorry.
A
somebody
lot of
was
people with McCullers patterns.
I would 100% back that. Yes, sir. So we got Mike trying to come back on. We'll see how that goes. We got Corey. I have 3 ladies at the shop that have been tinting and hand cutting since the 80s. Wow. That is amazing. And 3 ladies since the 80s. That is even more amazing to hear.
There's all the bubbles.
Yeah, the bubbles is back. All right, Mike. We'll give you the stage, man. You brought all the bubbles back, so that means we know your mic's working. Your mic is not working? Kyle, did you have to carry him out in the tender battles like this? I'm just saying. Did you have to do everything in the battles as well?
Oh my god. Hey, I have a question.
I have an answer.
Yes, sir.
I have a question. This is for Kyle and the other guy that's not in here, Mike. So are y'all going to be working as a champion team on Disruptive? So you will cut out all the patterns for the side windows, and he'll cut out the patterns for the back windows, or is that how that works?
Hey, I'm down. I got to do.
Mike is trying to get back on here, so
We'll do a collab.
uh,
We have like our names together, and they can click our patterns. It's like in his back glass. That'd be great.
Samuel says this is the future of plotter babies. We've got Derek Bodie. Welcome, Derek. Are creating patterns slowing you down, or is this the slow season that allows time to create? How will this affect summertime business? You have to cut patterns twice for every vehicle and test, I hope. Great question, Derek.
Slow season.
Who wants to take that? Haas?
Slow-
Okay, go ahead.
So slow season for me, yes. I have an employee who's tinting windows. While he's tinting the car, I'm cutting patterns out for disruptive and testing those patterns to make sure that what I am cutting out is what needs to be used. During the summertime, it might get a little tricky, but I mean, for anybody just thinking about wanting to be a part of disruptive as a creator, that's something you really need to think about. If you're a one-man shop or you don't, as a business owner, you don't really have the time to put forth the effort to make your created patterns and stash them on the marketplace, you might want to rethink being a part of disruptive. Not trying to sound any one way, but definitely something to think about, because it will slow you down, because you'll have to cut it. You'll have to test that cut and make sure that it's good. And then you have to upload the pattern and package the pattern and send it to Audubon, or to Disruptive, excuse me.
All right, we lost Mike Powell. He said he's tried everything; it's not working for him. He's at his new shop. He's gonna be opening up on February 4th. If anybody wants to know, there is a big sport for that going on. A lot of people are gonna be attending that. I think that could be an event of its own. Kyle, who knows? Haas, you know about that more, or Kyle knows about that? Anybody want to give details on behalf of Mike Powell?
Probably Kyle.
All right, co-champion, go, man. Talk about your boy.
So Mike, what Haas was it? February 4th, right?
Yes.
It is February 4th. I can tell you that.
Yeah, so February 4th. As far as I know, man, he invited. I mean, we were all invited before tenor battles, but now a lot more people are coming. Carlos is coming. Cody Beck, Eric DeVash is coming. I mean, there's a lot of people now that are coming. Scheduling and stuff like that. We really haven't talked with Mike as much as, hey, how's his grand opening going to go? I think it's just kind of like a fly by ear type thing, but a lot more as far as getting with everybody that he knows that's coming to have food. And I think he had said something about food truck or cooking bar. He's got a lot planned. I know that.
All right, guys, for the people that want to know, Ryan, he did try that and it's not working, but there's the information for Mike Powell's website, the day it's happening, the address, if anybody wants to attend that. It is Saturday, February 4th, 2023 at 9 a.m. Address is 501 East 10th Street. That is in North Carolina. If anybody else needs any information, please reach out to Mike himself. That way he can coordinate you guys. One thing I did find out from him earlier was that nearest airport is a little bit over an hour away. So if you can drive, I would drive. If not, the airport is about an hour and 15 or 20 minutes from what Mike said.
And to touch on that, there's no Ubers or anything like that will go from our airport to where he's at. just throwing that out there, being that I'm in North Carolina as well.
So how close are you, Haas?
From the airport
Or from
Mike?
Mike's shop?
Hour and 30 minutes.
So how far are you from the airport?
45 minutes.
Okay, so guys, carpool from Haas's shop.
Come
Carpool
on. Come on.
All right, so let's go back to some of our questions here. Make sure we stay on top of everybody that's being part of this. All right, so we got, I'm not sure what that is. We got Derek. When Dave asked that the seasons, I said thanks, but no thanks. I guess that was for Bodie to be part of Disruptive. I guess he didn't want to be part of it.
Yeah.
Champ. Okay, so here you go, Mike Brown. You may have a suggestion here for the champions having a special championship series patents. That might be Kyle and Mike's.
That's my wife.
Patterns.
That's my wife throwing out those ideas.
You got a smart person right there, man. Some special what you call it, marketing going on right there.
That's right. If she's gonna go ahead and comment, I'm gonna call her out.
All right, we got Samuel. So do you do the same window twice, like 2 sheets? One you will test while the other one stays intact?
Yes.
Good question, Samuel.
Yeah.
So that's
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. So that's how I have been doing them. I haven't sent any patterns in yet. I want to get a kind of a large lump sum and send them all at one time. But that's how I'm doing it. I'm doing 2 sets of patterns. I have tried the double cut method and seeing how that operates, and so far that has worked out. I'm double cutting the same window twice, if that makes sense, and I'm doing them for each window in specific. But that way I know my pattern is fitting, for one. Number 2, I have that spare pattern that I can that physical copy that I can send in, because once you pull it off the liner, it's going to be hard to get it put back on the liner exactly how it needs to be.
Kyle, are you doing something similar?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, they're doing the same thing as Haas. We haven't sent in patterns yet. I mean, we just got actually do our creating. We got it right before Tender Battles. So we just started getting ready to what we're doing as far as we're double cutting, say, a driver window, but instead of driver and passenger, we're just double cutting it, using one to make sure it fits, and then the other one will. But then obviously, like on Cortez, we're not doing that. I'm not double cut dot matrix that has dot matrix all the way around. That's not going to be either way unless you're just a jackwagon that don't know how to cut it.
All right, we got Mike Powell saying, sorry guys, I have no idea what happened and I hate this. Very sorry. Disruptive. And Michael, just to let you guys know, Mike Powell was the first one on here in the back testing out his mic and video, and I feel bad that he couldn't be part of this because he was the first one to try to test it out and make sure everything was good. Sorry to lose your mic.
You know what that means? That means we get to speak on his behalf. So, guys, say whatever you want. All right. Sorry, Mike. It's coming your way.
All right. So we got other questions. We're gonna keep going. Replying to Samuel, as I understand, patterns are created with provided film and sent back. So the vehicle in for service will be tinted with your shop film, not Disruptives. So that's true. So you guys are providing enough film for your creators to do the patterns with your film, but they use their own film for the installations.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, we are providing film for them. And it's funny, actually, we've had some shops use their own film, so I've seen like competitors' film come in and with, these pre-cut patterns. So, we provide the film, but if they're comfortable using theirs, that's fine too.
So it has to be shipped into you guys. It's not they're not taking a picture and sending it out to you.
It's both, and we're sending them a return label. That way, there's no cost to the creator.
Okay. All right. All right. We got during the beta testing, the film is being sent into us but eventually you will only scan a photo of the film and just keep on working so it shouldn't slow your business down too much. All right. Stephanie's got your back.
Yeah, that's kind of the point. That's why right now it's in beta testing. We're just crossing our T's, dotting our I's to make sure that, because we really want the picture part be the easiest. It should be easy. We want this thing to be easy, not complicated. So right now we are getting the hard copies in just to make sure everything's checking out.
All right. Next question we got from Avery. So, what do you do about patterns that are the same, like a 2016 through a 22 F-150s? Do we send in a pattern for each year, or just send one and disruptive just use the one for them all?
Yeah. So we're not asking for each year. We will have a variety of years, obviously, that come through, because you might have someone working on a 2017 or 2018 model, but it's the same model. But yeah, if you're working like what he said, 2016 through 2022, the creators are labeling that. They'll get pretty detailed in as far as instructions, what kind of vehicle they worked on, and even instructions as far as, I've seen creators tell me, look, this is the side that's up, this is the liner that's out. I mean, they get, pretty detailed, so that whenever I see the pattern, I can do my job a lot easier rather than having to guess or try to look, okay, which side is the liner up or which one is down. So this right here, this guy, as far as Avery, yeah, you want to send it in as far as for the year models that it's for, that's just fine, not a problem.
So, is Avery a creator as well?
Say it again.
Is Avery a creator for you guys? Is he part of Disruptive?
You know what? I don't know. I had to go look that up. We're getting a lot of creators in right now. I know it's going to have to cap out somewhere, but I don't know if Avery is. I'd have to look at the list. So I apologize, Avery, if you are.
Okay, so that was one of actually my hard questions that was already presented. How many creators do you currently have, or roughly?
I want to say roughly about 30 right now. It is. So things around 30.
Are you planning to cap anywhere how many creators you guys are going to have before it kind of gets a little bit out of hand or too many choices? Because I know in marketing, when you're showing a customer too many options, it kind of gets a little overwhelming. So, are you guys gonna cap out at some point, or are you guys gonna let them keep on coming?
No, we are going to cap out at 50. We're going to cap out at 50 creators. And we realize that the patterns that they cut, they could be double. So some of them could be doing the same Toyota Camry or the same Ford F-150. Then that comes down now to preference for the consumer. Which pattern do they want to buy it? Who do they want to buy it from? So, but yeah, let's see. I don't know. Oh, sorry. I saw Stephanie's name on there, so I was just reading it. But we are going to cap out at 50.
Okay, so there was a reply from Derek saying, "Oh, much better and effective. You cut a pattern as you intended to install, scan, photo it, and install it." Then we got Mike Powell coming back on here saying, "When we send in a pattern, I take down notes and jot all install comments on the patterns. I was also early sending in patterns and was told clear liners. That wasn't supposed to be the case." And he's got a little laughing emoji on that. He's got a follow up with that. "I gave Michael the extremely hard job of taking my clear samples. Sorry, dude." Continue with my pal. "Important, I try to always mark and take notes. Shave here, watch this, so and so." And then we got I label patterns for the year range. All right. Avery's answering yes, sir. So I'm guessing Avery's saying that he is a creator for you guys. We are kind of behind on some questions, but I'm just trying to catch up with everything. Marion saying, so you're test fitting the film patterns before adding to the marketplace.
Yes.
Well, most creators are.
Yeah. Let me rephrase that to add to Kyle. Yeah. Certain, I can't speak for everybody, but myself as a creator, I am test fitting all of mine to make sure that I'm putting out the best quality for you guys. That way, when it runs through your plotter, it's ready to go.
It's
Kind of touching base on the one of the previous questions that Avery had. Um, and then Cash, you followed up with what's the limit. So the cool thing about it is, like, 50 people sounds like a lot as creators, but in reality, there's going to be some of those creators like myself that don't get Lamborghinis, like the really super duper top end cars that are in like Miami, Florida, Los Angeles, California, so on and so forth, right? You know, my big thing is all those. Oh boy, sorry, my screen glitched. Am I still here?
Yeah, you're still here. You're still good.
Okay.
You had a glitch for just a second.
So out of those 50, you know, everybody's going to have their own like little niche per se. There's going to be some creators that all they do is trucks. There's going to be some creators that all they're doing is $150,000-$200,000 cars. So I think there's kind of a variety with all of the creators that's a part of it. Even all the way down, I know for myself, I do a lot of tractors. So there will be tractor patterns. There will be side by side patterns. And the list goes on. And then, like myself, I bottom load, so all of my patterns are probably going to be a little longer, and my patterns will have notes on them saying, "Hey, this pattern is a half an inch below the seal," or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? So each creator is going to have their own little niche. So a bottom loader might like my patterns versus Kyle's, because Kyle might be a two stager, and he only goes, you know, a quarter of an inch below the sweep or something like that. So I feel like it's going to be a really awesome thing to the industry. That way, everybody, not just certain people, will have a part of it.
All right. So follow up question on that. Are you guys gonna be putting notes in on each pattern who is a double stage loader compared to a bottom loader? So that way the end user has an idea of how those patterns were created and what they're created for.
Anything coming from my shop is going to have one note: bottom load. We bought everything. So if you click
All
on
right.
my stuff, bottom loaded.
So Mike Brown, since you're the guy behind this, are you guys gonna have a note specifying which creator is what type of installer?
Yeah, well, that's something that we definitely want to put on there, because the more the notes that we have on these patterns, it's going to relate to the consumer. So just like Haas was saying, you got some of these guys are bottom loaders, some are two stagers. And so, that's the beauty of Disruptive. You can relate to some of these guys. They know them in the industry, and like, oh yeah, I know Haas does it. That's the way I do it too. I'm going to buy his pattern. So I think each creator also will have a bio. So they will, you'll get to learn a little bit something about them as well. So that's something that Stephanie does since she's in charge of marketing. And also, one more thing, we will also have an international community with this as well. This isn't just here for the United States. We got creators that are in Puerto Rico that are interested. We have a creator, like in Chile, and these guys, they don't usually traditionally use a plotter in some of these other countries. They hand cut everything. And so they're very good at what they do as well. And I think it'll just bring an international community feel to this whole thing as it continues to move forward.
So, question on what do you guys let me phrase this. How do I phrase this without making it too difficult? Well, first of all, let's go to here. How many cars do you currently have, since you're going to be launching in 2 weeks? About how many cars do you guys have down between your collective 30 some creators?
Yeah, that's a good question. I've been looking at so many patterns I haven't been taking I haven't been taking count. That's a good question. We are gonna, here's the thing, because it's in beta, we are gonna have to build a library. So right now, while it might look a little scarce whenever it does launch, just remember 5 years from now what it's gonna look like. It's gonna be amazing. And I saw a question on here as far as any year or make or model. Yeah, for sure. You got a 67 Fastback Mustang, you cut a pattern for it, we'll put it there on the marketplace. So it could be pretty much anything that we could put our hands on.
So we got a question: are any type of testing available for that? I'm sorry, Haas, you want to say something?
I was just going to touch base on that, and this is for anybody that wants to use a pattern that would come from my creator marketplace. If you're not super duper far away from me and you have a car that you think it's a one-off, not many shops are going to have them, but if it does come in, there might need to be some patterns made for it. I'd be willing to travel to hand cut that car just so that I could get it in my database. And I would imagine that most of the other creators, as granted, depending on the travel time, they would do the same.
Mike Powell will. We're just gonna say it. Mike Powell will travel. Yeah. Sorry, Mike.
So we got a question: any type of pre-testing available for you guys, since you guys are going to be in the beta testing phase?
Yeah, they are testing it. I mean, so this will be a continual process right now. So there is all sorts of testing going on for it. So we're hoping that by the time we do roll this thing out officially, by the time it comes out of beta, that we'll have something that's solid. We don't want comebacks. We don't want those things to happen. So we're just trying to work out the bugs right now.
All right. So Mike Powell says, "Hell yeah." Avery says, "Good idea." Steven says, "Does Disruptive come with its own plotter software to initiate the cutting, or is it just patterns?" So Steven, they had answered this question earlier, saying that they're gonna recommend some softwares. There are some softwares that are available for free for you guys to use, but currently they do not have a software that comes with their with their software, basically. We got Mike Powell. Then better if we feel there was a glitch or you were contacted about an initial issue.
A previous comment that Mike had on that, he said that we could update there you go. Yep. We can update our patterns at any point. So like if somebody finds a flaw in one of the creators' patterns, reach out to either Michael or the creator themselves and say, "Hey, look, this quarter window, I don't know if maybe it was my plotter or maybe it was a pattern. It was way too big or it was way too short." And then that's when Michael would look at it. I would look at it as a creator and be like, "Okay, I need to figure out what's going on with that." I installed it. It worked well with me. It could have been an issue with the seal on the car or something. You know what I mean? But we could always go back and redo the pattern if need be. It's not like once we send them in, it's set in stone.
That's right. Yeah. If a pattern for some reason isn't doing well, we could take it off the marketplace, make those adjustments, and then get it back and get it back to working. So, right now we are working with selective creators because, we know that we're in beta testing process, and we just want to make sure that when we put the patterns out that they are good. We want you to feel comfortable that you're buying this product and you can put put tons of confidence in it.
So how many creators are you beta testing with right now? Are you testing it with all 30 some you got right now? Or are you taking a select 10, 15, or what are you doing right now?
Yeah, we're beta testing all of it. It's whatever comes in. So right now there's around, I want to say, about 30 creators. And we are in right now we actually have, I want to say, about 20 that we have gotten patterns from. The other 10 we're still sending out boxes. I don't know if those were at Tenor Battles. Just give me a second here. They saw this box here at our booth, this Disruptive box. And
Right.
This is what the creators receive. Okay. They receive a kit from us, and basically it's, nothing crazy, nothing big, but in these Disruptive boxes, you get a little bit of free swag, a Disruptive hat, there you go. There's a Disruptive hat. Who was looking for it earlier?
Jeremy.
I'm in trouble. So it does come with a little bit of swag. It comes with a backpack so they can keep things organized. It has like a ring type light. All right, it's not ring, but it's kind of like that. It comes with a stand. That way, when they're taking their pictures, it's not blurry or anything. It's a stable picture. And it does come with the Disruptive. These Disruptive stickers here. And these are what you place on the pattern for the camera to capture. Okay. And we send that with the backpack as well. So it's a whole, it's a pretty cool kit that we send out to our creators.
So is that the little logo for you to determine the size of the patterns to make sure that they're cut out at the right size?
Yes, and so if you look at, there is a demo of Kendall kind of demonstrating how the patterns are cut. So it's a quick video, but she's cutting out the pattern. She puts it against a whiteboard, there on a whiteboard, and she puts the stickers in each corner. All right, and then she takes a picture. Done. It literally is that simple. It just comes down to the creator and his pattern, working his art. And that will really be what is important out of this whole thing. So for the creator, it's an easy submission.
All right, so we got some questions we got to catch up on. So we got Marion saying you're test fitting the film patterns before adding to the marketplace. So obviously Haas already answered that. Avery got my edge film and patterns. Cool. All right, so we got some Samuel's got. It will be cool if you have, for example, 08 Honda Civic. So there is the year and make of the car and a list of the creators so they can choose from that. Now, I'm going to ask a separate question related to that. How are the creators? I know you said the creator is going to have a bio on the website. Are the creators also going to promote their stuff over somebody else? So it's like Haas going to try to promote himself over Kyle, vice versa, because obviously they're getting paid off of how much is downloaded and bought, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how that all plays out. So we don't have all the answers just yet, but hey, it's on the marketplace. They have a chance to make a little extra cash on the side, so we'll see what the future holds on that.
So Kyle, how do you feel about that question? Like, do you feel like you need to promote yourself over somebody else, or you're like, I'm just going to do this on the side? What are your thoughts?
Not going to be a competition. It's going to come down to, Haas is really known in the industry. Mike Powell, all the creators that are on there are already pretty industry. So I don't see it as, I need to take a picture with my Tenor Battles patterns. Because what if, Haas might have a pattern that I don't have? Certainly, it's not going to be, let's spend the time in marketing my patterns. I'm just going to put in what I cut in the shop, what I can offer, what cars come in. Because Lamborghinis, I don't see, Maseratis. I don't see the high car for our area is going to be a Tesla. We hardly get. I mean, we don't get a lot of the new high end stuff. So, as far as market and sell more patterns, no. I mean, I'm personally not. I'm just going to handle it. Comes in the shop, and if I have it and you want it, then it'll be there for you to purchase. But if somebody else in that creator, log might have it.
Same question goes to you, Haas. What's your thoughts on this?
So pretty much verbatim what Kyle said, and I will kind of touch base on. Wait, there's a comment over here that I see says you can add links to tech videos with your patterns. There's going to be some creators that don't do videos. I do live streaming. I'm used to doing videos. That's one of my things that I'm starting to do with me cutting the patterns out is I'm going to go in and be like, hey, look, this is the best way that I feel is to install my particular pattern. There's some quarter windows that you want to start with the top edge first and push in. There's some quarter windows that you want to start with the bottom going in first. So, I mean, people will choose, in my opinion, people like users will choose what they feel most comfortable with on what they think is going to be the best pattern for them. To start off with, it's going to be a little iffy. I feel like probably with some creators, not creators, but with the users, because now they're starting to use other people's patterns that they probably have never used before, right? But at the end of the day, if I'm posting videos of me showing you how to install my particular pattern, that's going to make the user a little more comfortable with purchasing my pattern versus somebody else that's not producing those videos.
Right.
And Cash, the cool thing about this for the creators is that they're doing something that they're having to work for once, and they're getting residual income off of it. I mean, that's kind of what it's hard in this type of industry to do something. It's not like real estate where you buy a house, and what do you want? You want that residual income from that, right? You want to have a check coming in every month. So that opportunity presents itself with this program. And I think that's something that speaks a lot, says a lot for itself in this industry, is to get residual income off of something.
So for your creators, are there going to be a disconnect? Are you guys gonna discontinue any creator if their patterns are no good or not selling? So how are you guys gonna determine that? Are you guys gonna monitor that, or are you just gonna let them sit there and see what happens?
Yeah, we'll just again, and those are case by case things. So we can't say that we're going to take a creator off the market or anything. But like I said, if there's we talked about that earlier with Haas. If there's something's going on, hey, let's go ahead and see if we can fix the pattern. So to say we're just going to take a creator off, I can't say that right now. Let's just see if we can fix the problem and then get it back on the marketplace.
Well, so on that question, the reality is you got 50 spots only. Let's say you got 50 spots and you got Haas who's killing it. You got Kyle that's doing really well. But I'm not saying Mike Powell is like this, but let's say Mike Powell is the guy. Since he's not here, he can't talk for himself. We're going to take him. Since Mike Powell is not selling any patterns and his patterns are being reviewed as not so good. And let's say there's a new guy coming in, for example, somebody by the name of KASH might be coming in with some good patterns now, and he's not currently at 50, in that top 50, but he's producing a lot of stuff out there, and that might be somebody that wants to get into that. How are you guys going to determine that? Do you guys have any ideas or anything outlined for that, or are you just going to let it roll and then kind of go with the flow?
Well, the thing about this is that in the future, it does have the possibility to grow. So we'll just have to evaluate situations like that. Because you might have a creator who's like, hey, you know what? I love the program, but I just don't want to participate anymore. That's okay. That's their choice. Yeah. So we'll just have to see how that plays out in the future when we come across it.
All right. So we got some uncertainties right now. So a lot of it is beta testing. Just go with the flow and see how it kind of takes you guys.
Beta phase, yep.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to go through some of these questions real quick, so we need to catch up on some of this stuff. I believe there will be a software up and running that is free. You only pay for the patterns you want. Next question says, since I got my plotter, it makes me to micro edging pretty much all my roll-up doors. I'm guessing he's saying not all top edges with the plotters are good. Get a micro edge to kind of give them the good pattern on there. I kind of agree with that. I'm having to do a lot of that myself. Steven says, okay, cool. Thanks for answering. Yeah, I have a basic free vector software. Okay, Mike Powell was back in the chats. Look at the gap challenge. Tesla top of glass. Wavy. All right, we got Tony. Most plotters come with this cut software such as Cutmaster Pro with GraphText. As long as it reads a EPS file, you are good to go. Several free programs out there to open and cut files. So Tony's
Yes.
answering some of these questions for you guys. I'm not sure if Tony is one of the creators as well, but that's a good answer, Tony. Thank you for that contribution. The creators should have a note on what brand model plotter they were using. Everyone out there with the SC2 is going to be whining. These patterns are too big. So the question on, I mean, the answer on that, Bodhi, is that not all the creators use a plotter. They're hand cutting this and they're sending that in. So I don't think that's going to determine what plotter they're using or not, because Haas may not even use a plotter at all, but he's just hand cutting it. Everybody's hand cutting and sending these in. They're not using a plotter
right.
to do this. So
Yeah.
I'll
That's
answer
right.
that one real quick so we can catch up on this stuff.
I kind of think I know what he's getting to though. So with me when I'm test fitting, it's not that I'm sending the pattern in and then Michael's sending the file back to me so that I can run it through my plotter. When I say that I'm test fitting my cuts, I'm double cutting the driver roll down window. I'm taking two pieces apart. I will install one of those to make sure that it installs well, and the other one goes to Michael. But as far as that goes, that will be depending the sizing. There's a comment there that says scaling. There's your program that you are using to cut these file patterns with. There should be some type of scaling inside of that. It might take you a couple of times depending on your particular plotter and your the program that you're using to cut. I know myself using the what is it? I've got like three now. One of my plotters, I had to contact Film and Vinyl Designs, which is who I have been using previously, and because all of my patterns were like a half an inch too big on both sides, and it's because the scaling issue was scaled up too big. We had to dumb it down just a little bit, and now all my patterns fit great out of the plotter. For the most part, some of the top edges, and to touch on that, like all of the creators, like when we send the patterns in, we are sending in patterns that have been not heat shrunk. And I feel like that's some of the problems with some of the patterns with Film and Vinyl Design. I think some of them got submitted as a heat shrunk liner, so that the top edge it might be micro edged on the sides, and then in the center it dips down, or it's too big in the center but it drops down on the sides or whatever. And there's no notes on that. That's another thing that Disruptive is going to have versus Film and Vinyl Design or some of these other pattern programs, is the fact that there's going to be notes from creators, from the specific creators, saying, hey, look, we did this before we sent it in. You need to do this extra whenever you go to install it. You need to shrink it or whatever. So just to kind of touch on that.
So, Michael, I got a question for you on that. Now, there's a rumors and then there's talks in the back channels that what if your creators are just taking, for example, Haas just said using Film and Vinyl Design, that they're just cutting out a pattern from there and then submitting that into your software. Or let's go into the question nobody wants to really address, Expel saying that, hey, if you are being part of Disruptive, you are no longer part of DApp because we don't want our DApp technology being used into Disruptive because they might have potential people that may use that. I know Haas is on that. This is a question nobody want to answer. I'm going to go ahead and ask it. You know, it is what it is. Let's not be kids about it. Let's put it out there. That, you know, Expel is saying, listen, we've spent a lot of time in our software to get it to where it wants to be, and we're not going to let somebody else copy it or take it. And I think they have a point on their end. At the same time, you may have somebody that may cut a pattern out with one of the other software. It could be DAP, it could be Film and Wino, it could be, Computer Cut or any of those, and submitting it to you guys. How does Disruptive monitor that and make sure that that is not going on? Or are you just trusting your creator to be legit, honest, and make sure that they're submitting true hand cut new designs that are ultimately supposed to be better than what's out there? Who wants to answer that? There's a handful.
I can help you out. I can help you. I can't. I don't speak for any other cutting software out there like Expel or anything like that. We are being selective with our creators. That's why I say, not, when we bring in a creator, it's a discussion. It's people that, okay, yeah, we know their reputation in the industry. And so we are QCing these patterns. You could tell the difference between a hand cut pattern and one that's come off a plotter.
100%.
So when I see these patterns come in, I'll know when I look at it. So it'll be very obvious in that department, I think. So right now, in the beta phase, while we're QCing everything, okay, we are being very careful with that. So there is a level of trust, though, that we do have to have with our creators too. Obviously, there is that trust factor that we got to have with them, that they are going to go ahead and submit us the pattern that they said that they cut.
Integrity.
There you go.
All right, so it's on the trust, and you're saying that you guys are able to determine if it's a computer cut or if it's a hand cut. So we'll leave it at that. We'll see how that kind of goes. And going on back to the comments, Tony says, replying to Derek Bodie, as long as your plotter is set to true size, you should have zero issues. Pretty common right there. That's what I have. Vinyl Cut Master replying to Tony. We got T-Town. Are you going to have a good search box for website so we can search per car and be able to pick from someone that has cut that pattern? Yeah, that's a great question. Do you guys have something already down for that, where you guys can determine if somebody puts in a 2018 Toyota Camry and it just brings up boom, 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 these are the patterns that's available, these are your creators? Do you guys have that part down already, since you guys are going to be doing beta pretty soon?
Yeah, you'll be able to search by creator or by car. So
Okay.
that'll be a really cool feature. So when they go in and they see, maybe 10 creators that have a 2010 Toyota Camry or 2022, they'll at that point get to choose who they feel comfortable from.
Bodie, on my YouTube channel, currently it's being on my business size top 10 service, but starting next week, we will have a separate channel for YouTube called InCREDITable KASH that you can go and stream all the previous videos as well as forthcoming videos for anything on this channel. My goal on that is to create a good library, so if somebody wants to catch up on what's been going on. Again, this channel is to be informative, is to help the individual learn about their business, about their financials and other stuff. So my goal is to make it simple for everybody to do that. So that's why I've created a new channel for that. Again, InCREDITable is this channel, InCREDITable KASH with a K. Well, here we go. Jeremy just put it out there. InCREDITable KASH, no space on there. There's a Twitch channel, there is a YouTube channel, and as well as a Facebook group. So please be part of the group, help the industry out, and grow and help your other tenter. This can also be used for other people, but a lot of, like, this stream is mostly for tenters because it's tenter based. But a lot of my programs are general credit improvement, and then we are going to have a life insurance specialist that's going to be on in the next couple of weeks. We're going to have a realtor that's going to be on in the next couple of weeks. So if anybody has questions toward that, that's something that we're going to help people out. Again, I appreciate you guys being on here. I know we're over the hour mark, but we still have a whole bunch of questions. If you guys are up to it, we'll continue on until we kind of get to the point. If you guys want to cut it early, we can cut it early. It's up to you guys. So I got a thumbs up from Kyle and Haas. Mike is double thumbs up. All right, let's keep it going, guys. All right, so kind of speeding it up a little bit. You'll be able to search by the year, make, and model, or by creator. Yes, the creator will try to add value to their pattern to gain edge. Cool, we kind of covered that. Moving on to the next one. I just want to be the creator of one single vehicle, the Nissan Hardbody. I'm not sure who that Facebook user is, but
It's
get in touch
Rick
with Michael
Rick
Brown.
Tallman.
Rick Tallman, okay.
He's the
Everybody
only
know who that
person
is.
in this industry that I know that likes that particular truck pattern cutting.
Awesome. Replying to Jeremy Davis, thank you. Going on to the next question. You can add links to tech videos with your patterns. Is that something that's going to be available?
Honestly, we right now are going to be putting, the details and the notes of the creators on there. So as far as a link, that's an interesting idea. That's something I'm sure that could be up for discussion one day.
Okay, cool. A lot of advertising for each person. So Haas kind of mentioned that he's going to be doing a lot of live streaming. So I guess you guys are going to have a profile on the website, but you're also going to have the individual creator kind of do their own content to kind of promote themselves as well, educate the industry. So I think that's kind of a unique setup right there. Mike Powell's back here. I'm not in this for the revenue. I'm in it to try to help the industry with some faulty patterns that we see from some software now and help fellow friends and family of the film industry. That's a
Yes.
great thing, man. I mean, I think that's beautiful. Hopefully this works out for you guys. It works out for the industry. You guys got a great name, Disruptive. You are definitely disrupting the industry right now. You are definitely creating some waves. That's why we have this. We're trying to get an understanding of it because a lot of people don't have the complete understanding. And I think you guys are still kind of in the develop stage as well. You guys are still figuring a lot of things out for yourself. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe we'll do a follow-up eventually once you guys launch the beta. Going forward, you done with OPP? I'm done with OPP. Okay. All right. I'm not picking. I'm just gonna going right down so we make sure we hit everybody, man. I don't like to skip anybody. I kind of like want to give everybody a chance. Matt says it will make them want to tint a lot more different cars for patterns. I guess what a lot of creators are saying is whatever they got coming in, they're just gonna handle that and keep it moving because they don't want to lose any business. This is, yes, it is eventually a revenue, but it is also something that they want to do to help out the industry and to kind of create something different for different people. It's a mixed feeling from different people depending on who you talk to, from what I'm getting.
Yeah. But we're trying to do it for the industry. And the cool thing is it's by the industry. I mean, you think about where it's coming from. So yeah, it's a very cool concept.
Okay, going to the next one. We don't really know how these guys will innovate. Someone may come up with an idea that become standard in the industry one day. I guess that's what they're looking for. Scaling we got. There's a hashtag by Mike Powell. I guess some of you guys know what that is. If anybody wants to elaborate, we can. If not, we'll move on to the next one.
Yeah, we can
All
move
right,
on to the next one. We're just a bunch of gnats. We're just a bunch of gnats trying to shake things up. That's all, man.
All right,
Disruptive.
so we got.
I do want to touch on one thing real quick about the scaling.
All right.
For those of you that are watching that do not have a plotter right now, don't let this scare you from getting into plotter cutting. And the reason why I say that is because everybody's like, oh man, I wasted a whole roll of film trying to get this pattern cut out or trying to make sure my plotter was working right. Message me. That's all you got to do. Message me. I don't care who you're with. I don't care who you are. I will help you get it working the best that I can via a phone call or through a message video call. One of the biggest things that you can do with your plotter and your cutting software that you're using to cut our patterns before you go cutting out, 4 back windows trying to make them all work, cut a simple 4x4 rectangle or square 4x4 rectangle. Wow. But cut out something that you know exact measurements of, right? And then put a measuring tape across it. If it doesn't line up, your scaling's off. You need to fix that before you cut any big patterns out. Simple as that. That's the easiest way to figure that out, and to test whether or not your plotter is cutting exactly where it needs to be. So I know mine is, just because I've gone through that. I guarantee you 90% of you guys that do have plotters, if you went to your shop and you cut out a, say, a 3-inch by 6-inch pattern, just a rectangle pattern tomorrow, guarantee you it's off at least by an eighth of an inch. Challenge you.
I'm gonna test that out. I've got 2 plotters, so I'm
That's
gonna test
that's
that out. But
that's the easiest way to figure it out.
yeah, that is a great tip. Thank you. There are also other people that will help you out with plotters. So if you guys are running into stuff, Kevin Rogers was great helpful for me to set up a plotter. I've got the workhorse as well as I've got the graph tech. The other thing I will recommend for anybody that wants help on that, what Kevin Rogers and some other people have done is that you take a small line all the way across, cut a box out, and then just pre-cut that before you cut your patterns to make sure that your blade is down to where it needs to be. That's the easiest way to test your blade, because a lot of problem is that portion of your pattern is cut out right, some of it is not, and that's one way to cut out your test your blade to make sure that it cuts out evenly. So I'm not sure if Haas run into that. I know I've ran into that issue a few times, but that was the great tip that I got. Actually, I got that from the Tint Warrior, Sean Roach is the one that posted a video on that, is to cut a strip all the way across. If you got a 36-inch roll, get a 34-inch strip that's maybe only an inch tall, but it's a little box that you just cut all the way across, and make sure that when you peel it, when you weed it, that it weeds out evenly, that there's no issues on your tape, it's not issue on your blade, all that kind of stuff. So there's a whole bunch of people that will help you guys out. So guys, all you got to do is reach out. For the most part, most guys are helpful. If somebody's not, put it in one of the groups and somebody will help you out, man. I know I will. If you ever need my help, I'm there for that as well. I've tested a whole bunch of plotters and stuff, and I've done other cuttings before. So there's Haas, there's me, there's a whole bunch of people out there. Moving on with our questions. I'll be honest, DigiCut is pretty darn good, but every pattern is too short. Top edge, some awesome, some spit out their pattern, make them long, recut the top edge, done. I don't know about that. I mean, if they're good, they should be right on where they are, because you need to be moving. The whole point of having a plotter for me is to make sure that you can get a car done faster. If you're gonna have to readjust it, play with it, it's not worth it. Might as well go and hand cut the damn thing. My opinion. Moving on to the next question. Keep in mind, Disruptive will have PPF patterns coming as well, and you can clearly tell a DAP patterns versus a core pattern when you look at relief and corners. Tony put that out there. Any update on the PPF? Is that coming out at the same time, or is that something later on?
That's something later on right now. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna work on
Dallas
first.
up 12-0, by the way. Okay, if anybody's following Dallas, that's your update on that. Matt says, will creators be rated or review written by purchasers? Yes, that is a hard question. I also had that. Mike, do you guys have anything where you guys gonna review each creator and pattern and put that up on the website, like a Google review type of deal?
Yeah, there will be reviews for the creators. So I'm sorry, and that's something we are working on. So that's just kind of where we are right now on that. But sorry, I'm just upset that Dallas is up right now. When I read that, I wasn't too happy about it. Sorry.
No problem.
Sorry for all those Dallas fans.
Now, on that, are you guys gonna review the reviews before you post them, or are they gonna be live post reviews from the customers?
So it's gonna be a marketplace, so it'll be led by the consumers, the reviews from the consumers. So if you got one that's like, hey man, this pattern, you need to do this to it, you're gonna see those comments on there. So yeah, I mean, and again, if something's wrong with a pattern, then something that we just need to address. That's all. So we obviously, you're getting, you get one bad review. Well, that's someone's opinion, right? But then when you start seeing a pattern, okay, we need to address this. So
All right.
we're just gonna have to take it up for discussion.
I think we're at this point. So what's the cost on each pattern and their price yet? So do you guys have a price? And then I have a follow-up on that because there was somebody else that mentioned this. Let me go to that question real quick. Oh yes, here's the other question. How are you pricing them? Are you pricing them per glass, per car? So what is the pricing and how are you pricing them?
So the pricing is something that we are working on. I've and I'll be honest, I've heard anywhere between like $10 for like a pattern that's cut up to 50. And I think it's going to come down and to just depend on. It's just going to depend on what the market value of it is, just like anything else. So just like in real estate, it's what people are willing to pay for something, right? So. But the thing is, at the same time, because this is something that we want to be affordable, okay? This is something that we want people to come in and be able to actually say, hey, you know what? This is totally worth it. It's gonna be affordable. That's what we're looking at. So I don't have prices in stone yet, okay? And that is something that we are still evaluating.
So when are you guys going to have the pricing down? Do you guys have an ETA on the pricing? When you guys will have more down to the pricing? And is it going to be by the glass or is it going to be by the car?
As far as I know, and as far as I know, when we launch, you'll see the pricing on there. Okay. And in your other question, real quick, sorry, go ahead. What was the other question?
Is it by the by individual glass or is there the price for the whole car? And when you say the whole car, are you including the windshield, sunstrip, sunroof? Like, standard thing, full car means that you're doing the 4 doors and the back window. That does not include front windshield, sunstrip, or the sunroof for a lot of people now. I know there's a lot of tenders that don't want to touch sunroofs at all, but how are you guys pricing this? Do you guys have that down yet?
There will be options. So there will be options on this. And I am getting patterns that have sunroofs, windshields, I mean, everything that you can, every glass on the car, obviously. So they will have options to purchase what they need.
Okay. All right. Moving on. Replying to Kyle, you have something to say?
Yeah. So that's going to come down to the creator. Like us personally, I can't speak for Haas or for Mike Powell, but us personally, if they're obviously they're not going to sell it by window. It's going to be, if you're looking for 2023 Toyota Camry, if you purchase my kit, that car is that you can tint on that car. Driver, passenger, window, back glass, full windshield.
So but that's your patterns. That doesn't mean that's Haas's pattern or Mike's pattern.
Right.
But when you say you cannot speak for Mike Powell, yes, you can. He's not here. Go ahead and speak for him. You're his partner anyways, right?
So we just say like Mike doesn't like to do visors. And if you look at my 2023, got the full car, the full windshield, and a visor. And then you go and look at Haas, they might not have a visor, or they might have. It's all going to come down to the creator. In my shop, it will be everything to do on that car.
Yeah, and Tony brought out a good point here. Kiger, he just, if you want to bring that comment up here, he said some patterns due to rarity will be priced at creator's discretion. So
yes,
that's something to consider as well.
The 80s Camaro.
All right, so this is the comment that you're talking about. Some patterns due rarity will be priced at a creator's discretion. So yeah, exactly. If you got a unique car, or like Haas was talking about some tractors and stuff,
Yes.
so that's going to be priced a little bit differently. All right, so we're going to go back here where we left off. Brady will pick them apart in the last 2 minutes of the fourth. Okay, I think that we're talking about the game now. We're going back here to the 70 Chevelle.
Yeah.
We got Mike Powell with blue, and then we got Derek with waffles.
Wow.
Blue Waffles group in here. So anybody knows about that, you guys can search that up yourself if you don't know. Jason Taisley, welcome, Jason. Nice to have you on here. What's up, guys? We got Mike Powell saying blue. We're going to continue on with that. Waffles. Matt said, make them hustle harder. Okay. Jason says, great idea. We got Ryan in here with Jeanette, the nets and gaps. Okay. We got Tony here. Always test cut with a plotter when first setting up. All plotter manufacturers have additional support. So I'm gonna hold off on that question. What do you guys have for disruptive? Do you guys have tech support set up for that? So for the consumer, do you have tech support if they're having issues? If you do, what kind of time frame do you have? Where are they available on the weekends or not? So first off, do you have tech support?
So right now we'll offer support when it launches.
Okay.
So when they will have, as far as on the weekends, that question I don't know. I'll be honest, I have no idea if there'll be any kind of tech support on the weekends.
As a creator, I would be willing to help somebody out on the weekend.
Okay. All right. So that, again, you guys gonna figure that out once it launches.
Yeah.
All right. So there's a lot of figuring still out to going on, guys, just to kind of update everything, but they're trying to do something unique and different. So we'll kind of wait and see how that kind of goes. Somebody did put out their cute dog. Hell yeah, those dogs are cute as hell. They were the talks of the show and any show they went to. They went to at least 2 shows I've been to. So love those dogs. All right. So always test cut. We've been to that one. I just might have to invest in a plotter. Yeah, I mean the new thing is plotters is the way to kind of go in the future, especially if you want to streamline your business and get more cars done. I think that's where the industry is kind of leading to. Hand cutting, never forget that, because that is, you can have a power outage, you can have an internet outage, and if you're down, you want to make sure that car is done regardless. But I think that is where the industry is leading, and that's why Disruptive is coming in and doing what they want to do. We'll just see how that works out. So going to replying to Jason, imagine having a dealership account and they send you 5 of the same vehicle. You have the pattern and plot out all the vehicles in one shot, shrink, peel, stick, make that money. So like a lot of people said, stick it and lick it, and I mean lick it and stick it. There we go. Michael says, yo, what's up, fellas? We got Avery back down here. Thank you for offering the help, guys. Danny says, hello, guys. For you guys that use a plotter, what do you guys recommend to put as a strip cutting tape? My blade starts scratching the original tape. I got a GraphTech 54-inch. So personally, Danny, I use what is that? The slip tape, the tape that doesn't scratch. I forget the name.
Fine.
Efflon tape. Yes, Efflon tape is what I use. Now, if you guys know Rodney, who was in here earlier, he does have a special tape that he sells. He gave me a test strip, and I don't know where the hell I put that, and I have not tested that yet. So once I find that, I will update you guys on that. But yes, Efflon tape works great. If not, get with the Rodney McClure and get his tape. I know he uses a tape that's really good. He actually showed it. I went to his spot last year, so he's got something that may help you out. That is Pro Tools. Rodney, up in Georgia. Gasket Pro Tools, I'm sorry. All right, Matt says, good night, guys. Thank you for the answers and good luck with the Disruptive. We've got Mike Powell back here. Help all of a sudden. I see you're not a Cowboys fan, so I'm leaving, Mike. Okay.
Hey, pal, I'm from Houston, okay? All right.
Derek says, not a Cowboys fan either. All right. We got GraphTech sells new strips, or you can layer Teflon tape. The key is to have a smooth surface so it cuts even without the blade dipping due to uneven pressure. So Tony kind of answered the same question we did.
You can also
Mike's,
use
go ahead.
another tape that you can use is Gorilla Tape.
Okay.
Just throwing that out there.
Dude,
There you go. We get
tape, vinyl. You can use Haas. Have you ever used vinyl? Just wrap vinyl?
I haven't.
You can.
So that's not a bad idea.
Yep.
all right. We got Matt says you can use it over and over. Correct. Yes, you can. Ryan says so. A F-150 front glass will probably be worth less than a 75 Ford Pantera. Okay. Yeah, I guess if you're gonna go that old, because most plotter softwares are not offering older cars anyways, yes, they will probably be worth more. 99 cents final offer. I'm not sure what he's offering 99 cents for, but we can only imagine it's like the $99 tin jobs. Ryan says some patterns due to rarity will be priced at creator's discretion. Yeah, we kind of covered that earlier. Damn it, I love you guys, Mike Powell. All right, we got Matt saying it's cool dog. Matt got 4.5 old school you can use with the 70 Malibu. Okay. Autobahn as a company as well as creators will be here as sport. That's Tony putting that out there for you guys. Mike Powell back for sure. If you purchase my pattern, message me for issue because I want to know and correct. Okay, so I think most creators are putting themselves out there saying that we'll help you out. Johnny Blades up. What's up, guys? Great show. Thank you, Johnny. We got Matt. Okay, tape right there. There's a strip that he's recommending for you guys. Mike Powell back here with a 19-0, by the way. Gorilla Tape, another suggestion. Matt is saying 18-0. Mike is saying 19-0. I'm not even sure if that's accurate scoring going out right there because that's two different numbers right there, man.
It's 18-0. Powell's wrong.
All right. Mike is just trying to push it a little bit more. All right. Replying to Matt, Brady trying to make that Vegas trade cheap. Okay. All right. Which Gorilla Tape is the clear one, or the one that looks like duct tape?
I've used the one that looks like duct tape.
Okay.
So you can buy it from like Walmart or Lowe's in the little 1-inch or 3/4 inch strip. That works perfect. Run a strip. You don't have to cut anything. Boom, 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 and it's fairly cheap. So.
What about the residue on that? So doesn't that leave a good amount of residue?
No.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right, Cash. Don't read this comment.
Oh, you lose. I was waiting for that one.
I told you I'm reading every comment. I don't care. I'm reading them, and I'm not reading them beforehand. I'm reading them as they come in. So whatever it says, I'm gonna say it. Also, a warm welcome, February 4th, my grand opening. Yes, Mike, we put that up there earlier. If anybody wants to attend, please get with Mike Powell. He's got the grand opening happening on the 4th of February. And if you want a carpool from Haas's shop is closer to the airport than Mike's shop is. We got thanks for that. We are now caught up with all our live chats, guys. I tried to do that as fast as I could. Yes, thank you. That was one of my goals, is to make sure everybody gets their comment read. All right, are you guys, we already covered this. Let me just going to go through the hard questions that we had in the comments before. Are you going to disconnect? We kind of talked about that already. Time and date for tech support. Do you have tech support? We kind of went over that. Software, we went over that. Testing, we kind of are going through that. Patterns, are you reviewing? We went through that. All right, I think we are well caught up with all our questions and everything. Guys, you guys want to close it up with anything you got? Let's go with Kyle, because he's the one that spoke the least. Kyle, you get the first closing argument or closing statement. Sorry.
As far as disruptive goes, man, right, let everybody do what they're supposed to be doing and watch for it to come out, because I promise you it's going to touch base on some stuff that we've seen earlier about, you know, like I know Haas already got a we plotter cut now, but, you know, saying creators what cutting out a DAP pattern or DigiCut or Core and sending that in, it's the purpose of disruptive. Disruptive is you are buying my pattern, and disruptive is picking certain people as far as we do. So I want you to buy what I'm hand cutting and putting out there, not my plotter, and upload it for them so I can put more patterns in there faster. That's the point of it. We're doing it so I know you're getting what I'm cutting, and that's what we're sending in. As far as me, I know that's what I'm sending in, and I'm pretty sure that's what Mike Powell's sending in, Jeff Welch, all of them guys that have been chose to do this, we're picked to do this, and they're getting what we want to cut. Just once it comes out, it's going to be a game changer for sure.
All right, I think there's a lot that needs to be seen. There's a lot of we got a lot of questions answered today. There are still some unknown stuff that I guess we'll have to wait for the launch, for the beta testing to kind of go through and see how that is. I would definitely like to do a follow-up once you guys have this launched out and you guys have some of these issues ironed down. One thing, Mike Brown, I've got a question for is how are you guys gonna plan on doing something where people are saying, listen, I can go to Film and Wino, I can just pay them $100, what am I paying, like $130 or $150, or you got DigiCut that's $89 or $80 a month, compared to me paying for each individual car $10. Yes, I will have that for live, but what if I'm a shop that's bringing in diversity of cars? I'm not dealing with a dealer. I may have, 30 different cars come in a month. And as it continues, yes, it will grow down, but how do you offset that? So if you got $10 a cut, I know you guys don't have pricing down. I'm about numbers. This is a financial show, so we're going to talk about that a little bit. If your cuts are $10 a cut, you got 10 cars, that equals 100. But if you got 30 cars, that equals 300. Now that compared to Film and Wino, that charges $130 for their monthly fee with whatever cuts you want to cut out of it. How do you compare with that? What is Disruptive's value on that? Is your value more on, hey, we're going to save you money, or hey, we're more focused on the cut, our quality is going to be better? Where do you guys stand on that? Where's your marketing and where's your values coming in on that aspect for the end user?
Yeah. So, use it for what you need it for. Okay. I think that's the great thing about it. Because as you know, there's other cutting programs out there that, as we even saw tonight, that not everyone's always happy with, and so you find a better cut somewhere else. You could find it on Disruptive and you buy it that one time, but you want to continue to still use other cutting software. So that's up to you, that's up to the dealer, what he finds is best for his shop. I do think that this is a great opportunity for, everybody, especially this new generation of tenders coming into the industry right now. I see this as a great opportunity for them, as to be somewhat cost effective, because they may not. I mean, what it's like when you're starting off in a business. Okay, it's not the easiest, and you might have to pay per design or cut, because the guy sometimes is buying a roll of film for this couple of cars that just came in, and he's doing it as it comes. So it's something that for those guys, they have the opportunity to truly build up a library. And I just think that's just the coolest thing, that they could just go type it in their computer, and get the patterns that they need. This is something that we wanted to support the industry in a different way. And that's what Disruptive really is all about. And, we're looking at the big picture. Disruptive, we want to see it in the future of this industry. So when we're gone one day, it's still there. people are looking at it as, oh man, they got this special pattern that I needed on this older car that I couldn't get somewhere else. So I think Disruptive is going to fill in a lot of gaps, but again, it's going to be at the discretion of the dealer. What does he need it for? What is he using it for? To build up his library.
So
KASH? Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. So what about one question I did skip on my hard questions was that what if you are on Disruptive and you're looking for a car, but it's not available through any of your 50 creators?
Mhm.
So do you guys have any type of request that you guys will be fulfilling somehow, or is just whatever the creators are getting in their shop is what's going to be turned out?
Right now, that's what's going to be turned out for right now. If there is something out there, I'm sure within the network that we have, we might be able to reach out. Hey, if you guys come across this vehicle, this is what we're looking for. Those opportunities I think are there. But as of right now, what's coming in, we're being in the beta phase of this. Is we have a library to build still.
Okay, all right. Haas, you were going to say something?
Yeah, you were talking about the how is Disruptive going to compete as far as financially wise with the other programs?
Yes, sir.
One way that I personally have kind of looked at it, both as a creator and if I were a user, because obviously as a creator and I want people to buy my patterns, I have to put myself in their shoes, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so if these patterns, let's say for poops and giggles, each pattern is $25, like for a kit across the board, $25. And film and vinyl designs, I think it's like $112.50 a month if you pay on a month-to-month basis. In your opinion, as a financial guy and a financial advisor, is it better to rent or is it better to own?
I love that. That's a great analogy. I'm always gonna go with what's gonna be owned, but at the same time, it's also gonna be assessment. Like Mike kind of answered, is that you may with Disruptive in the beginning may have to use two different things: Disruptive and software that does have a bigger library in the meantime. So I think that's going to be on the individual to kind of figure out if they want to play with that and kind of also see where Disruptive is once it's launched. How well is it set up? How well the cuts are? Because only time will tell. You guys have a great idea. Don't get me wrong, but financially, somebody if they're dealing with a dealer, I think Disruptive is a great startup option because it's the same car that you're dealing with, or maybe 5 cars that you're dealing with. But if you're a standard shop in the beginning, it may not be feasible to go with Disruptive, but maybe you can slowly build up your library with that. So yes, I do agree. As a financial guy, it is definitely better to own, especially if you're going to own it forever and not going to have to pay the monthly fee like you guys are planning. But in the beginning, again, it's going to be something that has to be tested out to kind of see out, because you guys as yourself don't have everything down yet the way it needs to be down. But you guys are putting a lot of faith in this. You guys are putting a lot of work in this. I think there is something definitely there for that. You guys are definitely creating a big wave with some of the guys that's out there. So there's a lot of guys that are concerned about it, and then there's a lot of people that are excited about it. Having Tenor Battles champions as some of the guys that's there, I think that was like, you guys couldn't ask for a better marketing than that right now. Haas, is very well known. Some of the guys you got, they're very well known. You got Rodney McClure coming in saying, "Hey man, I'll love to put some stuff out there." Who the hell doesn't know Rodney McClure? I mean, shoot, I'm not in this industry that long, and I know who that is. So, I think you guys got a great setup. Now, pricing wise, again, like Mike said, and I kind of test with that, is that it's going to be on the individual. A lot of guys right now on the financial side, they're struggling for every little penny. So for them, Disruptive might be taking a little bit of time to get into and kind of test out. And a lot of people are also afraid Just like when you have a new product, if you don't have a lot of reviews, a lot of guys don't want to be the first guys to go test out. You see what I'm saying? So yes, owning is definitely better than leasing, for sure, or having a monthly subscription. But again, what the pricing is, what it comes down to, how long it takes you to build a library, and how well is that library built and is accessible and usable is all going to determine on how you guys set up that software and the library and get everything going. That's why I say I would love to kind of have a follow-up. Maybe we can do a follow-up after a couple months. Let's see how this goes up and then see what other questions arise from it. See if you can get some user to use it and see what their thoughts are. But
Yeah.
yes, owning is definitely better than leasing. But at the same time, honestly, opinion wise, it's going to be on the individual, which way they feel like going on it. Money wise, if you're new to the shop and you have multiple cars coming in, it might be cheaper to go with a Digi right now. I'm just saying that, okay? Just because it's $90 or Film and Wino is $110, and you know that they got all the patterns you want. Disruptive, maybe in 3 months, has a good library because, Haas, you said yourself, you have got a whole bunch of patents you haven't submitted. Mike said that you got 20 people that submitted, 10 of them that hasn't submitted yet. So there's some wrinkles that you guys got to work out.
Yeah.
It's going to be financially, we can't talk right now on what the financial setup is because we don't know what the numbers are. Again, it also depends on the individual, I think. If you are dealing with less cars or you are prone, like for example, if you're in Detroit and you got a whole bunch of Dodges coming in regularly, Disruptive is gonna be probably the easier way to go with it because you can now buy a pattern and not worry about a Dodge Ram for 3 years or 5 years. For most manufacturers, their patterns are usually 4 to 5 years. So yes, I think you guys have a great plan on that. But again, for a shop that's dealing with a lot of walk-in and different type of cars, Disruptive may not be the right software in the beginning. It might be something that needs to be built up in the long run. I'm just gonna answer that honestly the way I think is possible.
Yeah, and we don't have all the answers either right now. I know there's a lot of questions out there. We're kind of taking it as it comes right now, and it is a new platform. So realizing that, we want to make sure that you need patience on both sides, right? But at the same time, we're super excited for what this can do for the industry.
Oh yeah, I mean no doubt. I agree with you guys on that. I mean I think you guys' idea is good. How well it gets transferred over is to be seen. And I think you guys are in the same boat, that you guys are in the boat to see how some of these things launches out, how they play out, and how they get corrected. The good thing I can say from today's stream is, and also kind of seeing you guys at Tenor Battles and talking to you guys at Tenor Battles, is that you guys have a very solid team that is supporting this launch and this platform. So I am very I'm going to be watching this very carefully, seeing how this gets established and where it kind of leads. Uh, Again, individually, it's going to depend on the individual where they feel and who's got the financial monies to play with the Disruptive. Because honestly, it's probably going to get to a point where somebody's going to have that monthly subscription for now and have the extra funds to buy Haas's or Kyle's pattern and see how well they do and then kind of report on that. Sometimes that's also a money wise, when you do something that's a risky thing, sometimes you gain more benefit out of that because you may cut off your subscription a lot earlier than somebody that may cut off their subscription later on. So it's a up and down that you kind of have to wait it out yourself as an individual shop or a user.
Something else to look at is, say, like Derek Bodie, for example. He brought up DigiCut a while ago, right? He's very satisfied with DigiCut's patterns. There's nothing wrong with that. You can be satisfied with DAP. You can be satisfied with DigiCut. You can be satisfied with FVD. You don't have to buy all of your patterns from Disruptive. You could be in a shop that gets cars like Derek Bodie and it's got a 1980 hatchback Honda Civic and you don't know how to hand cut and you use Film and Vinyl Designs. Film and Vinyl Designs don't have it. Oh crap, what do I do? let me go to Disruptive and buy Hoss's patterns, or buy Kyle's patterns, or buy that person's pattern. That way, I now have that pattern. I can put it in my program and cut that thing out, and boom.
Well, I mean,
You
you're
know,
doing tractors, so yeah. I mean, you
uh,
got a unique niche on that. So that is, I don't know of any software that's offering tractor
they
patterns right
don't.
now. So
Don't
you
they,
know,
they don't.
again, like I said, you guys got a great idea. You guys have a very strong team that I'm seeing that's either on the chats or on here today, or even at the tender battles. That's why I wanted to kind of do this and kind of put it out there because we see it in the streams all the time. We got Billy freaking Murray with his great advertising, disruptive, you know, posts that are going around lately. We'll leave it to that. Everybody can kind of see them for themselves. But again, you got Tony in here that's backing you guys up a lot. You got a few other guys that are backing you guys and are saying that you're going to have the sport. Now, there are still a lot of stuff that needs to be wrinkled out and put down. So only time will tell how that goes. We all, as a business owner, Haas, you're a business owner, Kyle, you're a business owner. You know that in your mind you have certain plans. Do they always work out that way? Not really. But unless you put the plans into work, you're not gonna get anywhere. And eventually, it may work out to be the greatest damn thing out there. It may not. I don't know. We can't say that because right now it's an idea that's being put into play, and hopefully it works out. And I'll be right here to attest to it when it does come out and see how it is, and I want to follow it. I'm not gonna let go of it. I'll see where it goes. I'm definitely gonna keep up with you guys and bug the hell out of you guys and find out where you guys are and how you guys are feeling, both as a creator as well as financially, where you guys thinking. I don't know if Mike wants to share how the pricing is gonna be, even though we don't have a pricing, that what the creator is gonna make and what Disruptive is gonna make. I don't know if that is a question that is open for discussion or not, and that's totally up to you guys. If you guys want to answer it, that's great. If you guys don't want to answer it, we'll keep it going.
We can keep a little bit of a mystery into it.
I got you.
So
I know the answer because I heard the answer already. But again, like I said, I'll let that be what it is. Now we got a whole bunch of comments in the meantime. Damn, I mean, we had a whole
I will
bunch of
say
people
cash
comment.
is beneficial for both parties.
Yes.
I agree with you. I think the
Yeah.
idea is great. Again, now some of the software companies that's out there that's trying to protect their software, or that's saying that hey, their software is better than other. That is a discussion that's been going on for years. Even when I looked into the softwares, depending on who you talk to, somebody says, like you said, Derek Bodie says that hey, listen, I love DigiCut. A lot of people says DigiCut is crap. A lot of people are saying DAP is the greatest thing out there. A lot of people are happy with film and vinyl design. A lot of people are saying no, computer cut is the way to go. A lot of people are saying go with core. There's like, it depends on who you are. Just like films. Do you like Autobahn? Do you like Flex Film? Do you like Expel? Do you like there's so many options on there. Everybody's different on what they like and what they're used to and what they're gonna do. Now you guys gonna have people that's gonna switch back and forth. So I think you guys are coming into the market with something new that's different. You guys gonna have a lot of shift in the market, and how much that stays with you is what I want to be interested in and follow up on. Is like how much of it did you got over. Now I will say from what I've been following, you guys have had a good shift already, and this hasn't even been launched yet. So there's a lot of people that have shifted or been shifted, and I'll leave it at that comment, that are supporting you guys or going with you guys, that has already disrupted the market. Great name, great strategy, great marketing. So yeah, I mean, for me, I think it's something that needs to be seen and tested and kind of worked out.
Mhm.
Haas, you got any other comments for you, or and these questions keep on coming, man. I mean, we might be here for another half an hour if we try to answer all these questions. I think we kind of need to finish it up in the next 5 minutes and let everybody kind of go to sleep, man.
Yeah, I'm down.
All right,
I'm
so change scares people. I'm gonna put just a couple of them up real quick. Ryan says, great show. Mike says, I asked about InCREDITable for issues. Things happen in all cars that are the same are all different. Contact us and let us know. Let us help you step you through the install or let us fix as an industry. So again, I think you guys have a great idea there. We can make this great industry changing. Okay. We got Derek. When hand cutting, do you center your patterns before cutting the top edge pre-screen? I think you need to get it with this creator on that and see how each creator does their thing. I got Ryan Wilcox saying, yes, I do. We got Mike Powell back here saying, but that's a one-time purchase. Next year, you may pay $50 because you have your territory and marketing car. Again, I think on the money-wise, you're just going to have to see where it kind of goes. DISRUPTIV will also back a bad pattern. If you run into a bad pattern, we will warranty it. I have dealt with shops using other pattern softwares where they deal with a bad pattern and they are out of the material and time with the no reimbursement. We have that's awesome. Contact the creator and submit a request for our pattern. So if you want to use, say, 1,000 patterns to own a decent database of vehicles, and say you're selling your patterns at $25, you'll have to invest $25,000. I guess so, but that's for a lifetime is what DISRUPTIV is standing behind. So you got to look at what is lifetime for each of you guys. So even if we take Dean Mitchell's question on this, 25,000 divided by, let's say, 10 years, what does that come out to be a monthly figure? I'm gonna do that just real quick, just for the hell of it. Again, this is a financial show, so I like numbers.
You also got to remember he used the number 25 because he made that comment right after I said what I said.
Oh, I got you. I got you. So we got 10
Love you,
years
Dean.
divided by 12. So that if you add $25 and you're talking about 10 years, and that's how many vehicles are you going to handle in 10 years, Dean, that breaks down to $208.33 a month. So for some of the softwares out there, I don't think that's too bad off. Now, if they're $15 a car, I'm gonna play the devil's advocate in both ways. 1,000 cars, that puts us at 15,000 divided by 10 divided by 12. That puts us at $125. Now we're getting close to what film and vinyl charges. Close to some what other people charges. Some people now charge us a little bit more. Some people charge us a little bit less. So again, go ahead.
Just curious. Does anybody know the cost of DAP? I don't.
DAP is $150 a month.
Okay. And not, I mean, Dean's commenting, so I'm gonna come back to him. I love you, Dean, but this is where it's at. DAP is only accessible to Expel users. DISRUPTIV, it don't matter who you're with. Doesn't matter. It can be Expel, FlexFilm, Autobahn, Solar Effects, any of them, global. Doesn't matter.
Again, on Dean's behalf, or what Expel is kind of standing for, is that they're giving you a certain market share, and they're saying we're supporting our dealers off of that. That's what we're offering the software. That's their opinion. That's the way they kind of structure their business. I see where DISRUPTIV is coming in, saying, "Hey, listen, we're doing more open market, like a lot of little distributors." Now, I had Chris Hardy on here a few weeks back, and he was very specific on where Expel is leading towards, is that they want to make sure that they have full support from their dealers, because they're gonna try to give them full support. He calls it a marriage. So I understand their point of view. I understand your point of view. Again, that's Haas is gonna be something that we can argue all day about, and everybody's gonna have their own opinion on.
You're
So
right.
I say for
Very right.
the fairness, leave it to each individual to do what the hell they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right, guys? I
Yeah.
mean, agree to
It's what you
disagree.
believe in. Yeah, it's what you believe in and your preference. Yeah.
Exactly. So I'll answer that one. Will you release a DIY kit for personal use? I would like to cut and keep my own pattern. Is there a software conversion that being done with image of the patterns? Will that be available? Will that be available, Mike? I don't think you guys will, but
Yeah, I'm actually not too sure about that either. I apologize, Derek, but yeah, that's a question that I'd have to look into for in the future.
okay. I'm not sure what Mike means right here. Are at villain. Okay, so Tony, patterns are scanned in. If you like a large enough scanner, personally, you can create your pattern in house. You can also send in those EPS files to create a profile in Disruptive. Man, I think we might should have had Tony on here today as well. Dean, how much is a pattern? We don't know yet, Dean. You're gonna have to wait 2 weeks to let them launch and then kind of figure out. And a lot of it is at the discretion of the creator, from what I'm understanding so far. Also depends on what kind of vehicle it is. If it's common or if it's a rare vehicle, it may be different price according to that. My understanding again. All right, how many of these 1,000 patterns in a shop really using though is nice to have them all from day one, but I may not use 90% of them. Again, depends on the shop, where you at, and what you're dealing with. Tony, how much are the patterns? Don't know. Same question. All right, Dean. Pricing will be structured around current market value unless a rare vehicle where it will be at creator's discretion. We just discussed that. All right, we're working on the pricing structure and we'll have it available at launch time. Kudos to you guys. The more competition in the industry, the more the consumer benefits patterns away. Again, I think you're getting a lot of support from the industry. So again, something we'll have to kind of see and see how it kind of goes. I love you too, Jeff, from Tony. All right, Dean. Tony, wrong. Do the math on the past 10 years. How many patterns do you think you need to have in order to have a software to support all the cars you do? Again, depending on the shop, where it kind of goes. Tony, what current market value on a pattern? It depends on what you think. I know you came into it in late, Dean, but we discussed it earlier in the podcast. Rewatch it. Yes, anybody that's coming in late, rewatch the podcast. We answered a lot of questions. Guys, thank you for doing that as well. Just want to put that out there. Mike Powell back on here again, saying none of us would be owners if we were scared to jump out of the norm. I think we just covered that a little bit earlier. Mm-hmm. Replying to Dean Mitchell, I can't speak on solid pricing numbers at the time as it hasn't been launched yet, but current market value to be looked at for all pattern suppliers that offer buy your pattern. Expel offers that to a consumer level, I guess. Change scares people. It takes time. Mike, you're doing a great job covering it on the chat side, bro. I know you couldn't connect right, but you're doing great on the chats. That's all I gotta say. Kyle is just kicking back, saying, "Hey, man, he's covering in the chats. I don't need to do shit." Deans, that's 16 years of using a software at $150 a month. Laugh out loud. We got some pricing wars going on right here. $150 per month, 10 years is $18,000. $150. Replying to Dean, keep in mind you can use any film, one-time download fee, pattern, no cut. We're almost there, guys.
Yeah, I'm waiting to get to Powell's to his comment here pretty soon because I agree with him.
1,000 patterns is not really a lot of patterns, though. I'm at 30 different cars. Makes your smile halfway through January alone. Okay. I think that's a good point. Again, it depends on the shop. It all depends on the cost per pattern. Listen, I'm 100% sure disruptive patterns will be awesome. All depends on price per pattern. I agree with Dean on that. This is something we are working on as a goal is to make it beneficial for the end user and creator both. Tony is doing a great job on the chats. Mike Powell back here. Each owner knows their monetary and what fits them. We want to bring something new. If it fits your awesome. If not, I'll still drink a Corona with you.
Yeah.
I'll drink
Corona
a
sounds
Coke with
great.
you because I don't drink Corona. Derek Bodie, Cowboys about to be 25-0.
So bad. So bad.
Last comment. That's my partner. All right. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I love having you guys on here. You guys did a great job. You guys answered a lot of hard questions. I definitely got a lot better understanding on it. I definitely will be watching this very closely and seeing how it turns out. And I love Haas's disruptive cover. I would like to get a little bit lower view. I think the bottom part is even better than the top part. I will say that, Haas. So if you can get that, share that.
He's like the
How do you think
disruptive
I'm keeping my
mascot.
balance?
But guys, thank you so much for coming on here. Thank you for answering all these questions. We would love to have you guys back after it's launched and it's been in the hands of the user for at least 30 days. I think maybe doing a follow-up in end of February or beginning of March. That would be great if you can set up something like that and then kind of see where this kind of leads up and what the reviews are and what the people's concern is, because I think both the end user, the creators, as well as a lot of these suppliers and manufacturers that have the softwares, everybody's looking at you guys very carefully and seeing where it's leading to. Ultimately, I think you guys are trying to do this to improve the end users and the creators, which are the end users at the end of the day. Their benefits in the long run, if it works out that way, that would be awesome to see. Because anything that improves the industry, I'm for it. Whether I'm on the program or not, I would love to see that happen. That's my personal opinion.
Awesome. We appreciate you having us on here on your show, man. We had a great time.
Thank you. Tony's got a last comment here. Well, here, hold on. Sorry, let's go. We got Kyle. Congratulations, brother Haas. No more nudity. I don't think that's a nudity. I think that's a beautiful piece of art, man. Come on. One big guy to another. Love it. Tony, Depp has nothing to worry about it yet. Mike Powell, sorry, my issue, brother. Thank you, AB and Disruptive. Dean Mitchell's got, you guys are all awesome. Wish you all the best. As the industry note that competition makes us all step up our game. I definitely agree with you on that, Dean.
Yep.
I think that if there's somebody that's sleeping, Disruptive at least waking them up, and if nothing else, you're making other people improve what they already have. Either way, the industry and the end users benefit from it. So yes, regardless whether you're with it or against it, whatever, Disruptive is definitely disrupting the market and causing a change. How well that will be, we will see to where that leads us. Remember, we are all human, but we will help and correct to benefit all installers. Derek's got, if DAP wants to lock up the industry, let non-XPEL customers use DAP. Dean says, love y'all. We got everything. It's been fun, guys. Keep up the phenomenal work. Yes, we're wrapping it up too. Replying to Derek, never gonna happen. Always a great time, but all right, guys. Thank you so much. We're 2 hours and almost 10 minutes into it. We need to call it a night. And I appreciate you guys all again. If you guys didn't watch the whole stream, you guys can rewatch it on my YouTube. You can watch it on Facebook. If you need a link, just text me a thing and I'll search you a link. Grace, Kyle, Mike, Haas, Mike Powell, and Tony, have a great night, guys. Thank you so much. Happy New Year to everybody who hasn't been said that to. I hope you guys kill it this season. And more prosperity to everybody. And I wish everybody have a great season. And looking forward to what Disruptive is going to bring. You guys all have a great night. We will see you all on the next